This is Joseph Darling from the Girls of High Value channel. Today we're going to talk about the power of the unburdened woman. First, we need to explain what do I mean by a burdened woman and what do I mean by a burdened woman. I talk about, on my channel about masculinity and femininity and how women were designed to be feminine. That their potential actually lies within their femininity, not their masculinity, as the world would have you think. It's femininity in women that we desire. It's femininity in women that they desire. But they always try to balance things out and try to make both work and balance, and it doesn't work. So what we want to discover is the potential of a true feminine woman. And this is where burdened and unburdened comes in the picture. Being burdened means that one takes upon oneself responsibilities and expectations and duties and shoulds. And that is what creates burdened women. It masculinates them. It makes them into men, if we're going to make it simple. Women were not designed to be men. Women were designed to be women. Women were designed to be allowed to be girls. But when we burden them with responsibilities, with rejection, with discipline, with having to be focused, and basically doing the duties of a man, we're thwarting the whole system. We're basically ruining the whole design of the creation. Women were designed to be feminine. And that is why unburdening them is the key. If burdening them means that they become masculine, then unburdening the woman means that we can be able to explore their femininity, allowing women to explore their own femininity. It's such a beautiful concept once you understand it. So the next step is to understand what a burdened woman is when it comes to the time concept. Okay, so we divide time into three categories: the past, the now, and the future. The burdened woman, the masculine woman, never has the chance to be in the now. The more masculine she is, the more burdened she is, the farther away the now exceeds her grasp. And she tries to hold on to it. She tries to do yoga. She tries to do meditation. She tries to, whatever she can in order for her to hold on to the now. But as a masculine woman, unfortunately, eventually it's going to catch up with her. The masculine woman only exists in the past or in the present. Now, of course, sometimes, she's unburdened by the opportunity for her to know that she's going to be taken care of by the government, she thinks. She believes that she's always going to have a man that she can call whenever she needs sex or whenever she, needs whatever she needs that she can't get a hold of herself, she can call a man. Hopefully that's true, but normally it's not. That is the key. A woman who is masculine will be in the past or in the future, but it will be very negative aspects of the past and the future. So there's a positive aspect of the past and there's a negative aspect of the past. There's a positive aspect of the future and a negative one. Okay, so let's explore the negative aspects of the past. The only reason why I'm going through this, by the way, is not to burden you even more. Sometimes knowledge and instruction and understanding how things work can burden a woman. I understand and I recognize this. However, I think it's critical that women understand this about themselves. They gotta understand this. And that can help them to try and make some wise choices about their future and about what they want. I'm not burdening them with shoulds, okay? They can figure those shoulds on their own, what you should do and what you should not do. However, if we simplified the process, if we simplified the confusion that women experience in this life, then they can be able to make the right choices as much as possible. So let's talk about the past. What are the negative aspects of the past? Eventually we're going to get through to the positive things, okay? I promise. The negative things of the past for a woman are these two things: guilt and shame. A masculine woman will have lots of guilt. A masculine woman will have tons of shame. Now, a masculine woman doesn't desire to have guilt. She doesn't desire to have shame either. However, because a woman cares, and because her past always catches up with her for some reason, and because she does not desire to be judged by others, she does not desire to be rejected by others, and she desires to be accepted into her peer group. She desires to be accepted by those she spends time with. Because of this, she has the guilt and the shame. Now, where does this guilt and shame come from? Obviously, it has to do with her relationships. Mostly. Actually, in some ways, it's 98% of her past is relationships. If she has bad health or if she has bad finances, she will very often blame it upon the past. And that past will be relationships. And there will be guilt and there will be shame in those relationships. Now, if a woman is not burdened by her past, then she is somewhat unburdened in the now. The moment there is no more unburdening going on, the moment she loses her femininity, okay, this happens as she ages over time, there is only past and future, okay? So I'm saying you have to understand, there's not like, oh, women are 100% burdened and then 100% unburdened. Most women are burdened, okay? But there's a grade, if you will, that, some women that are in their late teens and in their 20s and in their late 20s very often also, a little bit beyond, if they have their, they've managed to keep their age quite well, they are unburdened. If other people are helping them out, they are unburdened. If someone is providing and protecting them, they are unburdened. You understand that? But the moment the people who unburden her are not there anymore, the moment she's rejected, guess where she's going to be? Not in the now. She's going to be in the past, or she's going to be in the future. And in the past is going to be the guilt and the shame, the regrets. I shouldn't have done this. Oh, I'm so embarrassed for having done that. Or I should have done better, and I should have done this. And if I had only, right? It's the 2020 vision of regret. That is the past. And trust me, you don't want to be in the past in a negative sense. You don't want to think negatively about your past. You want your past to be absolutely fantastic, have awesome memories, and for it to be beautiful. Now, you might live in your teenage years and in your 20s and create lots of amazing memories from traveling the world, having sex with a lot of guys, and create, wow, those were the days. Those are fantastic. Trust me, once you are burdened, there's going to be a filter in front of your memories where you're basically going to look back at them and regret those memories, even though you might right now believe that they're really, really nice. This only happens, by the way, when you're massively masculine, okay? There is hope if you actually turn to femininity, if you bring femininity out, and if you focus on femininity the rest of your life, okay? If you do that, trust me, you can manage to get in the now. But the more masculine you are, the less of the now you're going to have. And you're going to try to understand the now. You're going to try to read books about the now. You're going to try yoga, meditation. You're going to try a lot of things. The only time you're ever going to be in the now is when you're being accepted by your peer group. But guess what? Your past mistakes, and the good things you did in the past is what makes up the peer group you have in the now. Your future nows are going to be made up of the people who you feel accepted by. And guess what? Those people that accept you will be people who have the same pasts and the same regrets, the same guilt, and the same shame. Do you understand now? You want to be around people that don't have any regrets, no shame, no guilt, which is what a masculine woman is trying to get to, but she cannot. So, that's the past. I know, it's really dark. It's really horrific, if you ask me. Oh my gosh, I spent 10 minutes on this already. All right, so go into the future. In the future, because we got to skip the present. We got to skip the now because there is no now for the 100% masculine woman. So we move on. Well, hold on. Let me just clarify this. Can you have fun when you're masculine, even though you're 100% masculine? Of course you can. Guess what? How do 100% masculine women have fun? Partying with stimulants. This is how masculine women have fun. Sorry for my laughter, but this is society, guys. I'm just explaining it simply. Alcohol, drugs, and casual sexual relationships, creating the new. And all, like, it can be regular drugs, but it can also be over-the-counter prescriptions, okay, that people take, happy pills, whatever it is, in order to feel good in the now. Now, those things are just harming your body long term. Those things are creating massive side effects that might not be apparent right now, but that eventually will catch up with you over time as your organs begin to decline, okay? The more feminine, youthful, fertile, beautiful, and fit you keep yourself, the more you allow your body to be in the present by natural ways, the better your body is going to handle the aging that naturally is going to come. So that's the present. Trust me, you don't want to be masculine. What about the future? Well, guess what? A masculine woman is independent. She's responsible for her own mistakes. She's responsible for her future. And her future basically includes, since she's independent, the fact that she has to provide for herself. It includes the fact that she has to provide for her housing, she has to provide for her clothes, she has to provide for her food. And very often a masculine woman will sometimes have children. She's going to be a single mother sometimes. That happens. And that masculine woman will basically have these two things: fear and worry. Those are the two things that a woman does not desire to have. Trust me. They don't want guilt and shame from the past, which is magnified by the intense emotions that a woman always has. And then in the future, her fears and worries are magnified again by her intense emotions. You don't want to have that. What is fear? False expectations appearing real, which basically means that most of the things she fears are fabricated in her mind, but she cannot control it because it's masculinity. Masculinity takes over her body in massive, negative ways. The fact of the matter is that every single woman will eventually hit the wall. Okay? What is the wall? It's basically when you come to the point where your sexual market value declines and you no longer get much help from men. And the men that you do get help from, the men you do get provision from and hopefully some protection from, are feminine guys who do not have the emotional stability to handle your crap. Feminine guys that do not have the emotional stability to be consistent in the business so that they can be wise financially, so that they can take you to the exponential growth of an amazing future. Does that make sense? Feminine guys will always let you down unless they're on track towards masculinity and they understand these concepts that I teach on the Men of High Value channel. A guy who's on the right track will eventually get on track and eventually will be consistent and eventually create the exponential growth curve. You know, be patient with those guys that are feminine now, but that are on track to become masculine. But those guys that don't see their own mistakes, that massively blame, that don't want to learn or improve or read books or do anything that we recommend people to do on the Men of High Value channel, well, guess what? Very often they're lost causes, and the only thing that's going to help them to get out of it is the fact that women are not available for their sexual escapades. The moment women are no longer available for them, guess what? They're going to change. Because men basically want women in their lives, and so they'll act accordingly. The more women we get onto the Girls of High Value channel, the faster men are going to be motivated to grow and improve. So, fears and worries. Oh my gosh, yeah. When you arrive at the wall, which depends upon your beauty, fertility, and femininity, then the sexual market value will decline, and unfortunately there won't be many men around to provide or protect you the right way. Okay, so as we can see here, there's only one thing that hangs in the balance here. A masculine woman does not want to be rejected. A feminine woman does not want to be rejected. The only thing, actually, that burdens a woman is rejection. That's it. Nothing else. So if we look at a masculine woman, what is she being rejected by? She's being rejected by her peers, by those in her social group. This is why she has guilt and shame. Right? If she was massively accepted by her social group, there will be no guilt and shame. This is why a woman is comfortable around those that have made the same mistakes, the same things that they've done in the past. The women that have lots of sexual partner counts, that have feminine guys, and then they basically complain about their men all day long and get a divorce and have children and back and forth, and oh my gosh. They don't want to be rejected. A masculine woman will always be rejected by her guilt and shame of the past. And when it comes to the future, guess what? She's going to be rejected by the fact that she doesn't have protection and financial provision from someone else, the help of someone else, or the provision from someone else. She has to do it all on her own. She's got to be independent. This is a burden. And in the now, she's being burdened from the fact that things are not going her way. The more feminine a woman is, trust me, the more things are going her way. The more masculine she becomes, the less things are going her way. This is what we call the exponential decline. Things are going quite well for a period of time. It almost looks like, oh, life is fantastic. And then exponential decline happens. Oh, this is such a sad video. I'm so sorry, guys, but I have to explain this. Understand that this is disempowering for the woman. Can you see now? Feminism has brought us here and helped us to come this far where we are now empowering women, right? We were massively disempowering women in the past with the patriarchy. Men were oppressing women, men were forcing women, men were putting them in houses and not allowing them to do whatever they wanted to do. And then feminism came along, gave women the vote, and then now has created this environment we're in right now where women can basically choose whatever they want to do. And once they choose whatever they want to do, guess what? Right now they choose independence. And independence is going to bring masculinity galore. And I'm going to end there. And if you feel very sad, depressed, and like this is too much, watch part 2, which is going to come tomorrow. Or maybe I'll just launch it right afterwards right now, but we'll see. This is the Girls of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I'll see you again in the next video.